Hello, hello, hello. Come on back in here. Get in here, get in here, get in here. Y'all, I'm not playing. I am finishing up this thing tonight. I'm going to get done with this stuff on the SYBILLS. It's almost done. I'm almost done. But don't get excited. Okay, so remember the W, y'all, means you're a holy watcher. So get in here. I'm going to be talking about other things. So I'm not going to be able to get back to this until after maybe. But just giving you a brief description. You have to go back to see my other videos and I'll tell you all about you being a holy watcher. And now this W is not an M. The mirror is a scrying device. The phones and your TVs and all your laptops and all these little black square boxes or rectangles, they're all a black spirit box. And the demon world, the spirit world, not just the demon world, all of the spirit world can see us through these boxes. It's a modern day crystal ball. So all the people have been wondering all this time, I got an M in my hand, and you hear all sorts of things knowing that you're chosen. Yes, this is a mark that you're chosen, and there are other marks that you're chosen. And I talk in depth on how this can also mean it usually signifies a lot of people that are RH negative. This is one of the many signs we carry. So is the crescent moon. So is freckling and moles, and could be signs that, there's all sorts of stuff. We talked about that with clairvoyance and everything. But, if you carry this mark in particular, it means you're a holy watcher. And a holy watcher, if you know what that is, it means you're an angel. And you chose to come down here in human form and take on this life, go from birth to the whole process. And you chose it because you love God and you were willing. So I talk about Baba Vanga and the 5 keys that were given in message from her. It was a message given to her because she was a divine, holy woman of God. And she was given this message to give us. She was given it a long time ago. I think she's passed away, dead and gone. And this woman, she was very divine. But the message is for you. We talk about it in the past. But we're going to go on because I got to finish this up on the SYBILLS. So like I said, please, if you want to catch up, you should catch up. And if this resonates with you in any way, you are more than likely a holy watcher or just chosen. Either way, it's still very important. And there's a lot coming up with this shift going on and the energy. It all means something. Our world's going through something. Everybody feels it. But guess what? They have no idea. The spiritual battle that lies ahead, you have a very important role in that. And so that's what we're getting together doing this stuff all about. God has put me in this position to be doing this. In humility, I accept the position. I have great gratitude for all the blessings he's given me. Been through a lot, near-death experiences and everything. And all of it is in the video, so you can go back and watch it. Let's get back to what we was talking about, SYBILLS and queens and everything. So when I was telling y'all about that queenly rule and everything and what it does to when it gets to them celebrities and stuff, I don't hate celebrities. Get it straight. Let's get it straight. Listen, Kirk Franklin and all them, I'll still listen to their music because you got to remember when it comes to celebrities are divine chosen beings too. When they first came into the business, they came into there with the goal of succeeding and shining with their gifts and to give to the world and bless people. That's what they was in for. But when they got a hold of them after, a couple of albums, CDs or whatever, and who knows what point in time, a certain point in time, it came down to, listen, you're going to have to take these oaths and do the thing. And if you don't, you ain't with it, you're going to lose it. And look, see that person right there? They're going to step up and take your position. You about to get booed. So they see that, they get used to the money, the shine. I don't know what the high attraction is with all of that stuff, but they're willing to do those horrible things we keep hearing about to stay in that position. It can't be me. Anyway. So like I said, that one of that very worst humility ritual, which we consider a man being deified. The act triggers something when the brain, it snaps in there. And not all men, many men can still maintain their masculinity because they're strong enough to withstand that. But some men, something happens to, I think it's the medulla oblongata, or something in the brain. It snaps, and some of them revert being back to the mother figure that was in them that comes out, representing a mother figure like that's in their life, or an auntie or whatever. They take comfort in that personality from being raised in that. And then some of them try to cover up the weakness that they've fallen into. Like you see Justin Bieber and all of them are covered in all these tattoos and stuff. That's to portray this hardcore image with you, that they so tough and, you know, they can withstand anything. But that's because that's how they're coping and dealing with the fact that they had to endure the humiliation ritual, to show in appearance this toughness, but it's a mask for them to cover their pain of losing their manhood. When a woman endures this act, now I'm not speaking personally, so don't be looking at me strange, but women that go through this, like, they get hurt. You know what you hear about how a woman that been through a grape, she gets all sheltered and she don't want nobody to touch her, this and that. But once she starts recovering from that, her mind can bounce back. Like when we survive, we're the ones in the, you know, women are so resilient. We can deal with the kickbacks of a funeral, whereas a men, they can't deal with the pain and all that of a funeral. We get right in there and handle everything. We do the cooking and this and that, and we're comforting everybody. A lot of men don't want to deal with it. They're willing to carry the casket as men because that's a manly thing. But when it comes to the emotional side of it, the men got to put that aside. So see, there is a difference with resilience and how we deal with that as between men and women. Being resilient with such an act of out of me, you know what I mean? I'm not saying it out loud, but they bounce, you know, women have tendency to bounce back from that, being guarded, but can endure the effect differently. They're built to withstand, and that we have some things in us that are different than the men. A more important thing they don't really tell you about, especially with divine nines and women that represent, you know, have fallen from the family bloodline. They got that mobility bloodline that carries with them the Sybil bloodline and stuff. So, you know, there's goddesses walking among us and divine nines. And like I said, we're holy watchers and stuff. They're here on earth. God has them already ordained and sent down here, and like us, growing up, the ones like us, and raised as human beings for such a position as this. Many of us have come into the fruition of knowing who we are a long time ago, but many people just get into positions as being psychics, or, you know, certain leaders, or run businesses a different way, whatever. You'll hear such things regarding, you know, in the future, you may have heard them now. They usually relate to the X-Men gene, the mitochondrial DNA. It only comes from the women. Yeah, the X-Men thing about the superheroes and stuff, that only comes from women. The X-Men gene, the X gene, you know, the Y chromosome's the man, the X1 is the woman. The woman is the one that is that strong one. Mitochondrial DNA is the only one that can give you a 99.99 accuracy in determining the factor of who committed the crime in criminal cases. That we have a stronger intuition, and we have strength, and we usually are great leaders. Considering all our lives we were programmed that men are the ones that supposedly lead. The women that used to be in control first before the nobility was stolen from them were the SYBILLS, the goddesses. They've been in power first. The identity stealing thing happened again. So in light of saying all that stuff, yeah, it gets really deep with the Divine Nine stuff. Like I said, these fraternities, they use that, you know, and they got the knowledge. When we talk about how, you know, those different fraternities, secret societies and stuff, they love flaunting to everyone and keeping secrets and saying, oh, you can't be part of this. You join us, then you can get the knowledge. You're going to be enlightened. But listen, all that stuff, don't even worry about that. You can be enlightened through the Most High. The holiness, Holy Spirit can come over you and show you ways to reach ascension and crack open that third eye through all the teachings of Christ. The Yahushua HaMashiach teachings right there are basically the same thing. I'm sorry, but if you compare all the literature and everything, it's pretty much the same. It all leads to a point where you ascend and become a higher person by cleaning up the temple. The body is the temple, and therefore you move on your way to becoming what you are supposed to be, what you're meant to be. That's what it's all about, okay? So, yeah, that's what it's all about. So yeah, Mama T, the one on the internet, I like her so much. She talks in depth about the SYBILLS, the goddesses, and the Divine Nine, and you know, it was the feminist movement that's going on here now. It's a movement that it is as negative to it, connotations and lying and stuff. You know, the Queen in England, she exemplified that because they still maintain that monarchy high order, which is the same exact line that the SYBILLS and the queens and stuff, they come from that way. It's all from Egypt and, you know, the teachings. like the Queen of England, she ruled for not for her husband, but by order of the Beehive. Like Beyonce, the identity stealers, the inverted, this perverted, satanic stuff. You know, asexual reproduction is something that comes out of our line, the women of the X-Men gene and stuff. That gets deep too. We'll talk about that next in the next video, because asexual reproduction is where they say the Virgin Mary had the baby on her own. So we'll talk about